welcome to Just Call Me Tasha. Today we are going to be talking about the 10 emotional stages after leaving your job. Well, maybe not all 10. When I made my last video, I was in a really rough patch, right? And I had to do some research. Listen, is anything that this USF alumna knows how to do, your girl know how to research, okay? I can research anything. Anyways, when I was feeling a little down and out, I decided to do some research about what I was feeling, why I was feeling that way, and how to overcome it. I ended up finding 10 Emotional Stages by Vanessa Lau, and the first 1 to 4 stages was basically talking about how happy you are to finally land your dream job. Obviously, I was there, right? I went to school for education. There's nothing more I wanted to do than to be an educator, and I landed my dream job. Moving on to stage 5. So in stage 5 is where you begin to see different things that you may dislike about your job. Obviously, I hit that stage because I decided that this may not be the best fit for me. So stage 6, shut the deuces. And I was like, it's time for me to go, right? It's time for me to go. Those things that I noticed that I dislike, it is time for me to kind of put it into action and say, enough is enough. Stage 7, that awkward stage. It was really, really awkward, okay? Because you've just resigned, right? You've just decided, I no longer want to work for this person or this company. And in most cases, you give a 2-week resignation. So that 2-week period from the time that you hand them that paper to the time that you are supposed to be leaving can be awkward, can be some tension there, depending on what transpired. And in my case, it was a little awkward. It was because you don't know how people perceive you, and if they're not talking about it, you can't necessarily defend yourself, right? So that part of it was awkward. Conversations were awkward. Just walking through the hallway was really awkward, if you ask me. But I made it through nonetheless. So then we get to stage 8, where you're like, or I was extremely ecstatic. I was happy, I've resigned, I'm free. I have learned to use my big girl voice and say, no, I won't take this. No, this is unacceptable. No, this is not okay. And I felt really, really good. Handing in that letter of resignation, your girl felt liberated, okay? I was free, I didn't have to worry about it anymore. But then we kind of move on to stage 9, which is where I was in the last video that I uploaded, where I was basically like lonely. I am really going through the motions, right? Like everything that you could possibly feel, every emotion that you could possibly feel, I am feeling them. You're in this stage of loneliness and you're feeling those social pressures, you're seeking validation. And I was very much so there in that video. I think sometimes when you make a certain choice, you're kind of looking for somebody to say, you did the right thing, right? And if you made the choice for yourself, then you don't need validation from anybody else. So the last video that I uploaded was, okay, Nelson, you did this, now what do you do? Especially when you have people that are close to you that are asking like, what's next? So what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do for money? How are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do that? So you kind of sort of get caught up in the what now or the what next, and you start to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, or get a side hustle, or pick up a job that you don't want to do because you don't want to feel like you're disappointing anybody, or maybe you want to feel like you're living up to their expectations. Huge no, red flag on the play. You do not want to do that, okay? You don't want to do that. If you don't already have another career or job set up, you definitely want to spend that time learning more about yourself and figuring out what it is that you want to do next. And That brings me to stage 10, which is where I am now. And this is called the adjustment stage, where you are realizing I am at peace and this is my new norm for now. It may not be my new norm forever, but it's where I am right now. So what do I do with where I am right now? And so that's where I am. I'm trying to figure out, like, who is Nelson? What does Nelson want, right? I'm spending time connecting with self, learning self, loving self, appreciating self, and it feels really, really good. It feels great. But I'm super excited, guys. Those social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, while they can be very beneficial, you can also abuse them and it can be to your detriment, right? So I'm learning how to have kind of sort of that balance and just to trust myself, trust my process, because my process is different from yours and my end goal is different from your end goal. Guys, there is no finish line. There's no finish line. Every day we are learning ourselves more and more, and that's a good thing. And we have to kind of just be still, be still in certain moments, be still at certain times, and not allow ourselves to see what everybody else is doing and want to go after that. Like, girl, I'm proud of you. You doing what you doing for you and your business. That's great. That's awesome. Eventually I'll get there, but right now I'm not there. And that is okay. It's okay to not be where your best friend is. It's okay to not be where your schoolmates are, your classmates. Be grateful for where you are right now and trust that there is more to come. So I am finally out of my loneliness stage and taking the steps that I need to, I guess, settle into my adjustment stage and really understand and hone in on my purpose. Super excited. I can't wait to see what comes from this, see what is next for me. And I'm so grateful to have you along this journey with me. Until next time, be blessed.